Hi, people. It's me again, of course, as always, Andrew, as usual. More you know where you can go. Yeah, a quick FYI. If you're a potent practitioner, or if you practice and you practice heavily, and you already have a good deal of experience under your belt, like by a good deal, I mean half a year, at the very least half a year, depends on how heavily you practice and the things you do and whatnot. You'll notice, or something that you might have noticed, excluding exceptional situations, cases, and/or people. Generally speaking, you will, depending on the day, depending on what day it is, what day of the week, you will feel or you will notice that your behavior is influenced by the ruler of that day. So, for example, on Mondays, you'll notice that you'll be moodier and whatnot. And on Saturdays, you'll notice that you're more serious minded and melancholic, or you're feeling more ambitious, and so on and so forth. Well, what can I say other than welcome to my world? So imagine what it's like being me. I feel all of this at its highest vibration, or experience this at its highest vibrations. So you can imagine what it's like. For me, even the hours influence me. It's that strong based on who I am. So, for example, for me, it's Monday currently, and currently, based on the planetary hours calculator, Jupiter rules. So, for me, typical Monday, I feel a bit moody and whatnot. I just ignore it because I'm used to all of it. Other than that, because it was Jupiter ruling, Jupiter currently rules the hour, I noticed that I had like a bunch of memories come to me from the past and whatnot. Again, I all ignore it because I know it's just due due to the governing energies of the day and the hour and whatnot. And again, if you adhere to the aforementioned so-called criteria, the hypothetical criteria, then you might have noticed it as well. In case you weren't aware of it and you were wondering, hey, why am I feeling so like this or that today? Then yeah, that's why. And and even if you're not a practitioner, if you're someone that is highly clairvoyant or you're naturally spiritually sensitive to just that spiritual courses, then you'll notice it, um, regardless of the extent, degree, and/or capacity. But if you're someone, you're a heavy-duty practitioner, especially, again, like I said, excluding exceptional situations and/or cases, then generally speaking, you will have noticed that on Mondays you'll feel moody, you'll feel like you need to get certain things done and whatnot that potentially have to do with infrastructure, you name it, things that are either around the house or out on the road or on the street, you name it, or something that involves water. On Tuesdays you can feel annoyed, aggressive, even combative, or something might happen of a combative nature, like getting into an argument or altercation with someone, even if it is only minor or hypothetical, you name it, and it just goes on like that. Okay. Wednesday, since Mercury rules, you'll notice that hey, a lot of thoughts are going through your head on that day. A lot of frivolous, arbitrary thoughts, down to legitimate thoughts for that are superficial in nature, self-improvement wise, or just overall. On Thursday, you'll feel a lot of situations in which you, a lot of situations in which you're reminded of things that happened in the past. A lot of past memories will come to you, things that happened like a really long time ago, um, as well as, for example, heavy duty dealings and whatnot, doing something that has a good impact on your life or something else overall. On Fridays, you'll feel refined or a need to be refined or to refine something, um, making something better by, for example, cleaning up unnecessary elements, you name it, stuff like that. And it just goes on. And I already mentioned on Saturday, you'll feel more ambitious. You'll feel potentially like maybe going out or going to a public location, and it just goes on like that. And last but not least, on Sundays, you'll also have a lot of thoughts going through you, a lot of frivolous thoughts that are just like it's like 10 thoughts per minute, essentially. And you just ignore it, but it can become somewhat tedious and or annoying even. But again, it's all in the game. Um, and let me see. And yeah, no, that's pretty much it. And on Sundays, obviously, you'll also feel relaxed, more, more quiet, more reserved, etc., etc. Because these are all the things that the planetary rulers have to deal with. Oh yeah, before I go, or before I finish up this video, you also might notice in some cases that it's the opposite. For example, on Tuesdays, rather than feel aggressive and whatnot, the aforementioned, you might feel the exact opposite on rare occasion or in exceptional situations and or cases where you will feel like just opposite, not necessarily laid back, but you'll feel the opposite of being assertively active up to aggressive extents. You'll feel maybe a bit chill and or whatnot. I'm not entirely sure about this, but I think real-time planetary movements might have something to do with this. Because, for example, I think the past Tuesday, it even surprised me. I noticed it regarding my behavior because usually I'm like hyped up because it's March. But I noticed that, hey, today, despite the fact that it's Tuesday, I'm not feeling hyped up. I feel the exact opposite. I feel like I feel more relaxed. I feel not relaxed, but I feel more unwilling to commit to the aforementioned. I just feel like I essentially don't want to do anything, almost laziness. I feel lazy, as in I don't want to do anything and I just want to relax and I don't want to exert myself. And the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, Mars was going retrograde. I was that because it hit me. I was like, hey, I think Mars is going retrograde. That's why. So yeah, those things most likely also play a role. So in real time, it went retrograde. I also noticed it with Mercury going retrograde that sometimes you have like adverse thingies, but I already did a video on that. You'll see it in the end screen. That's all in any case. Bye bye.